Cold War steel, 203 millimeters of legacy firepower, a system built for another era, now reappearing in modern Ukraine. The 2S7M Malka, not a tank, not a missile system, but one of the heaviest self-propelled artillery platforms still in operation. Why is a Soviet-era artillery system returning to the spotlight? Why now? And what does its presence reveal about Russia's evolving battlefield strategy in Ukraine? This isn't about hype, it's about adaptation, logistics, range, operational tempo. Because when a 203 millimeter system enters the equation, the conversation changes. The question is not just what it fires, the real question is what it signals. The 2S7M Malka was never designed for short fights. It was built for depth, for distance, for impact beyond the immediate front line. A 203 millimeter self-propelled artillery system with a range exceeding most conventional tube artillery platforms. Upgraded in its modernized M variant with improved communications, fire control systems, and mobility adjustments. So why does it matter now? Because modern warfare in Ukraine is defined by attrition, counter-battery duels, long-range pressure, infrastructure targeting, operational shaping before ground movement. When traditional maneuver slows, artillery speaks, and systems like the Malka are not tactical tools. They are operational instruments. They influence rear logistics nodes, ammunition storage, command infrastructure, bridges, staging areas. Even if used selectively, their presence forces recalculation. This is not simply a Soviet relic rolled out for symbolism. The evolution lies in integration. Modern battlefield use means coordinated drone reconnaissance, real-time targeting correction, electronic warfare overlap, dispersed firing positions, rapid relocation post-strike Cold War hardware, 21st century battlefield network. That combination changes perception. Because legacy systems, when digitally adapted, extend operational lifespan. And that tells us something important. Russia's artillery doctrine is not abandoning heavy systems. It is blending them into layered firepower strategy. Tube artillery, rocket systems, glide bombs, heavy caliber platforms like the 2S7M, each filling a role in sustained pressure warfare. The real question is not only deployment, it is production. Can legacy heavy artillery be sustained in a prolonged conflict? The 2S7M Malka was never produced in large modern volumes. It originates from Soviet-era industrial capacity. What we see today is less about mass production and more about refurbishment, storage retrieval, industrial reactivation, component replacement, digital retrofitting, modernized fire control updates, communications integration, navigation improvements. Not a factory surge, a revival cycle. That distinction matters because sustained artillery warfare depends on three things: barrels, ammunition, logistics throughput. Heavy caliber systems demand industrial backing. 203 millimeter shells are not lightweight munitions. Transport complexity increases. Supply chains stretch. So when systems like the Malka reappear, they signal something beyond firepower. They signal industrial intent, the ability or attempt to maintain heavy systems within a long war framework. In modern conflict, production capacity is strategy, not just what fires, but what can be replaced, what can be maintained, what can be reactivated. And that is where evolution becomes visible, not only on the battlefield, but inside factories. but scale matters. The 2S7M is not deployed in massive numbers. It is resource-heavy, logistically demanding, slow compared to lighter artillery units. Ammunition supply is complex. Barrel wear is significant. Counter-battery risk remains. In modern high drone density environments, survivability depends on concealment and mobility discipline. So this is not about dominance, it is about selective leverage. When used, it signals intent, long-range shaping, psychological weight, operational disruption, and in attritional warfare, disruption matters. The 2S7M Malka is not a symbol of nostalgia. It is a signal that heavy artillery still has a place in modern conflict, a signal that legacy systems, when adapted, can extend strategic depth, a signal that evolution in warfare is not always about new platforms, but about new integration. In Ukraine, the battlefield has become a laboratory of adaptation. Drones redefine targeting. Electronic warfare reshapes communication. Precision weapons compress reaction time. Yet, amid all this innovation, a 203mm artillery system from the Soviet era still finds operational relevance. That tells us something profound. Modern war is layered. High-tech systems coexist with Cold War hardware. Digital networks enhance analog power. Speed meets weight. Precision meets volume. The Malka does not define the war, but it reflects its nature: attritional, adaptive, strategic. And in that environment, evolution is not about replacing the old, it is about repurposing it. This is not escalation rhetoric, this is structural analysis. Because when heavy artillery re-enters the conversation, we are not just looking at a weapon, we are looking at doctrine, and doctrine shapes outcomes. Steel from the past. Signals for the present. The 2S7M Malka is not rewriting the war, but it is revealing its pattern: range over rush, pressure over speed, depth over spectacle. In Ukraine, evolution is not always visible in futuristic systems. Sometimes it appears in recalibrated legacy power, a Soviet-era platform, digitally adjusted, strategically repositioned. That is not regression. That is adaptation, and adaptation is the true currency of modern warfare. Watch the systems, watch the integration, watch the doctrine, because in conflicts defined by endurance, what survives matters. This is analysis, not noise. TRX Update.